You didn't think anything of it the first time she mentioned him. It was casual, almost forgettable. There's this new guy at work. That's all it was, just a normal conversation. People meet new coworkers all the time. You've done it, she's done it. It didn't feel important, so you listened, nodded, and moved on. There was nothing to question, nothing to feel. It was just information. But then she mentioned him again, the next day. This time with a little more detail. He's actually pretty funny. Work feels less boring now. Still, nothing serious. If anything, you were glad. Work can be stressful, so if something made her day easier, that was a good thing. So again, you didn't think much of it. You didn't pause. You didn't overanalyze. Because in your mind, trust wasn't supposed to feel complicated. And for a few days, everything felt normal. Until it didn't. Because his name kept coming up. Not in a way that was obvious. Not in a way that would make anyone else react. Just often enough. Enough for you to notice. Enough for something inside you to shift ever so slightly. You started picking up on small things. The way her tone changed when she talked about him. Not dramatically, just a little lighter. A little more animated. The way she added extra details. Things you didn't ask for. Things she didn't usually go out of her way to explain. Like what he said, how he reacted, what kind of person he seemed to be. And at first, you told yourself it didn't mean anything. Because why would it? He's just a coworker. That's what you kept repeating in your head. He's just a coworker. She's just sharing her day. This is normal. And for a while, that explanation worked. Until you started noticing something else. It wasn't just that she mentioned him, it was how naturally he started becoming part of her daily conversations. Like he was already part of her routine. And that's when the thought quietly showed up. Not loud, not aggressive, just present. Why does he come up so often? Now, most people, they react at this point. They question it. They let it show. But you didn't. You stayed calm. You stayed composed. Because you didn't want to be that guy, the insecure one. The one who turns something small into something big. So you kept it to yourself. You listened. You smiled. You responded normally. Even when something inside you felt slightly off. And over time, that feeling started growing. Not because she did something clearly wrong, but because your mind started filling in the gaps. You started noticing patterns. How she mentioned him when talking about her day. How certain stories always involved him. How his name started appearing in conversations where it didn't really need to. And without realizing it, you started thinking more than you used to. Not about her actions, but about yourself. Is he more interesting? Is he easier to talk to? Does she enjoy his company more than mine? You didn't want to think like that, but you couldn't stop it either, because the situation kept feeding those thoughts. And the hardest part? She never said anything directly. She never crossed a clear line. She never gave you a reason to confront anything, which made it even more confusing. Because now, you had nothing to point at. No proof, no clear problem. Just a feeling. A quiet but very unsettling feeling in your gut that kept showing up every time his name did. And you kept pushing it down, telling yourself you're overthinking, telling yourself it's nothing, telling yourself to trust her, because you adored and trusted her so much that even a slight thought of her doing you wrong sounded simply impossible, right? But at the same time, you started noticing something else. You were paying more attention than before, listening more carefully, reading between lines that you never used to read into. And that's when it shifted. Not in her behavior, but in your state of mind. You weren't as relaxed anymore. You weren't as certain anymore. There was a small tension now, a small question that never fully went away. And maybe nothing ever happened. Maybe it really was just a coworker. Maybe it was all harmless. But that feeling, it didn't feel harmless. Because for the first time, you weren't completely at ease. Suddenly, it started to feel like a cloud of uncertainty was over you 24/7, and you didn't know if that came from insecurity or intuition. And that space between those two, that's where it stayed. Not resolved, not clear, just lingering. And the more you thought about it, the more one question kept coming back. Not about him, not even about her, but about yourself. Why does this bother me more than I expected?